What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Clone Wars Chronological Rewatch. Today we're talking about Missing in Action, the third episode of the D-Squad arc, and probably the best one, my favorite one.
Yeah, it was all right. This whole arc has been interesting.
Yes, that is definitely how people see D-Squad. Interesting. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Most people, I think, would jump to this one as one of their least favorites, but it does give us Gregor, who I feel like is a universally excitable. People get excited when Gregor shows up in Star Wars Rebels and the Bad Batch.
It's interesting because I think this might be the first time I've seen this episode. So knowing who Gregor was really interesting for me to see where he came from and like his origin story, and just like the fact that he didn't know he was a clone. And like by the end of the episode, they almost give him like this heroic send-off, like he dies at the end of the episode. But since I knew he wasn't dead, I was like, this is kind of weird.
It is weird. And like, I kind of want it to continue being a running joke somehow. I mean, like, he definitely dies in Star Wars Rebels, okay. But the whole thing is that he had a near-death experience in the Battle of Serish, I think it was. Then he winds up on Abafar somehow, like, no explanation, really. And then he dies there, and then we see him again in the Bad Batch. And then, like, I kind of want him to die in the Bad Batch again, only to appear in Star Wars Rebels. And it's just, like, he keeps having these near-death experiences. He's going crazier and crazier. And just, like, how are you getting from point A to point B? And he's like, I don't remember. Like, I wouldn't mind if they just kept on doing that at this point.
He's just really good at compartmentalizing his trauma.
Yeah.
Just tucking it away.
Well, I think that is, like, Gregor is the focus of this episode and the theme, which is a soldier's most powerful weapon is courage. And Gregor exemplifies that because he's shown and told that his entire life is a lie, and he immediately accepts that and, like, jumps into action to help. So, Good for you, Gregor.
To help people he just met.
Right. These little droids and also this tiny thing.
this tiny,
this kind of rude colonel.
Yeah, tiny angry alien colonel.
Yeah. Although, to Meeber Gascon's credit, like, this is probably the best he has been so far. He's actually kind of inspiring and helpful to Gregor, and, like, honors him, is also inspired by Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like Gascon in this episode more so than the previous two.
Yeah, like when he's explaining to Gregor who he is, who the clones are, he speaks highly of them. And, you know, it's not like, oh, you're a clone, you're one of a million other people that I know. That's
true. He definitely treats them differently than he treats the droids, for example. Where even though, like, I mean, I think that a lot of this arc is about how droids, clones, people, like, we're all the same. This training and programming thing, I feel like this episode kind of builds off of that, where Gregor, I mean, his training kind of doesn't kick back in. Like, all he has at his core is courage. Mm-hmm. But, like, he gets his butt whooped by Borkus before he gets his armor back on.
And then the droids just
take Borkus down.
Oh, yeah.
What a name, Borkus.
Borkus.
And he's also, like, the most maniacal villain the Clone Wars has had in a while. He's, like, laughing hysterically as they're all leaving. Like, you'll be back to work in my diner.
He's like a super evil version of Dexter.
Dexter Jetster.
Yeah, which...
He would never.
Right. But I was going to say, too, like, when you said Gascon this was one of his better episodes, I agree, because he's the one to kind of instill a lot of this courage, this newfound courage in Gregor.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, I wonder if it's just that is who Gregor and the clones are at their core. It's like, when everything else is stripped away, before he remembers fully who he is, he's like, he still has that courage. And even though he doesn't remember how to fight at first, I would say, he's still being courageous and standing up to Borkus. And then, yeah, he does remember how to fight, and he kicks butt because he's a Republic commando, and winds up sacrificing himself, which, like, all of this stuff is courageous to do that for people you've just met for the greater good. Like, good job, Gregor.
Yeah.
But that's it for this episode. We'll be wrapping up D-Squad next time. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.